The soft body simulation works for any objects that have vertices or control points. I'll add a plane under the cube so the cube has something to interact with during the simulation. Under the Physics tab, I'll add a collision to the plane so the cube doesn't just pass right through it. In Object mode, I'll subdivide the cube a few times. In Object mode, I move the cube above the plane and give it some rotation. I select the cube and add a soft body physics to it. When I play the animation, the cube simply bounces in the air. I need to make some changes to the options in order to have the full effect of the soft body physics simulation. I won't be going over each of the options in detail because it will make the tutorial too long and needlessly technical. I've given you the link to the Blender manual if you're interested in learning more. The collision collection is a collection that can be used to act as the colliders. The object panel allows you to control the friction, mass, and control points for the object. The simulation panel allows you to control the speed of the simulation. The cache allows you to control the caching of the simulation. Goal gives you the options for setting the stiffness of the object. Edges are the options for controlling how the edges of the mesh act like springs. Self-collision prevents the soft body object from intersecting with itself. The solver panel determines the accuracy of the simulation. Field weights refer to external forces acting upon the soft body physics. I'm going to change my end frame to 90. I also need to change the simulation end frame to 90 under the cache panel. I'll change the cache step to 5. This is the number of frames between each of the cached frames. I also activate self-collision and deactivate the goal. Now when I run the simulation, I see the cube crumple and bounce when it falls onto the plane. Under the Edges panel, I change the bending to 0.5. This controls the connections between a vertex and connective vertices. When I run the simulation, I now see a bouncy cube that looks like Jello. If I change the bending to 5, I now have a less bouncy cube. I'll select the plane and add a collision. I select the first UV sphere and give it a soft body physics. If I run the simulation, notice that the sphere bounces up and down in a narrow range. This is due to the goal being activated, which is essentially pinning the sphere to the space within the scene. If I turn off the goal and turn on self-collision, when I run the simulation, notice that the sphere drops and shatters or acts like cloth once it hits the plane. Under the Edges panel, I make some changes to the options. Using these particular options, when I run the simulation, notice that the sphere bounces on the plane like a hard rubber ball. For the second sphere, I turn off the goal option. Under the Edges panel, I'll make some changes to the options. Using these particular options, when I run the simulation, notice that the sphere drops and is dented on the bottom where it collides with the plane, like a basketball that's losing air. For the third sphere, I turn off the goal option. Under the Edges panel, I make some changes to the options. Using these particular options, when I run the simulation, notice that the sphere drops and is dented on the bottom where it collides with the plane like a marshmallow. For the fourth sphere, I turn off the goal option. Under the Edges panel, I'll make some changes to the options. Using these particular options, when I run the simulation, notice that the sphere drops. It becomes almost flattened and turns inside out like the dropped souffle. Thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. If you want to request a tutorial, please leave a comment below. Have a good day.